Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. I saw a headline and I had to click on it because it could impact you. Now, I want to jump into it here, and I will tell you that I did a little kind of, I guess, head start on this specific article, and it's not going to affect everybody throughout the nation. It is a state-specific move. However, if it's not happening in your state, it gives you some other state to point out and go, look, this state's doing it right, and you talk to your legislators for your state, right? Your state representatives, your state assembly people, your state senate people, not your federal ones, not your congressional members, but your state members. Reach out to your governor's office, that type of stuff, and say, hey, fix it. So with that, let's jump into it here. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I truly appreciate it. So the headline is income tax to be cut for millions of Americans. And I'll tell you that that's the part that got me already. I was like, oh, really? Because that would be nice. This article came out May 2nd, 2024 on Newsweek, and I wanted to share it with you here today. So this is specific to Iowa. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds signed new income tax cuts on Wednesday, which will impact over a million residents in the state. The changes will bring the current income tax in the Hawkeye state down from the current ranges of 4.4% to 5.7%, which is about mid-range. I mean, if you look at the nation state by state, that's probably somewhere, in the lower middle. Then you got states like California where it's, up to 10% or maybe even more. So they're going to take that range of the 4.4 to 5.7% and they're going to drop it to a flat rate of 3.8% for all, starting on January 1st, 2025. They are not messing around. Since there's a quotation from I believe it's from the governor, yeah. Since 2018, I've proposed, worked with legislature and signed 4 landmark tax reform bills, which not only set the stage for Iowa's first ever flat income tax, but also eliminated taxes on retirement and inheritance income, cut property taxes, and made our code more friendly to farm families. Reynolds, a Republican, said in a press release on May 1st. And because of our conservative budget practices, it's clear that we're well positioned to go further, faster, which is why I proposed a 5th tax package this year. This is really interesting. In a time where, some states are looking for more ways to gouge citizens and constituents, right? They are not, which is good. I mean, there's enough money that's flowing around all over the place. Be a little more fiscally responsible. So let's move on. The bill I'm signing today allows the flat rate we enacted 2 years ago to go into effect in 2025, while reducing it yet again to 3.8%. The bottom line is that every Iowa taxpayer will experience significantly lower rates starting next year, and collectively, all the tax cuts we've enacted since 2018 will save Iowans more than $23.5 billion over a decade, she added. Newsweek contacted Reynolds' office for comment by phone on Thursday morning, but didn't receive an immediate response. Though this initiative, Iowa is set to become one of 13 states which already have or are still implementing flat tax for income. The other 12 are Arizona, Colorado, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Mississippi, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Utah. And, to me, I think that's a great benefit, right, for every one of those states. And I will tell you that from a military and veteran perspective, some states are better than others when it comes to military retirement, obviously. And other states are better than other states when it comes to property tax exemptions. And then you also have sales tax you have to look at as well. So there's a big combination of different things that you want to look at when you're looking at these different states. Moving on, some of these states, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, have always had a flat income tax. Colorado implemented theirs in 1987. North Carolina did it in 2014. Kentucky in 2019. Arizona, Idaho, and Mississippi implemented flat taxes for income in 2023. Georgia did so earlier this year when Governor Brian Kemp approved legislation cutting the state's income tax from 5.75% to 5.39%. Not as hefty as a reduction, but a reduction nonetheless. The new rate will take effect in 2025. The tax cuts signed into law by Reynolds were supported by nearly a third of the legislation, a third of legislative Democrats. KCRG reported, though Democratic leaders said the cuts won't help 500,000 Iowans who don't earn enough money to even pay income taxes. The initiative to introduce a 1-cent sales tax cut proposed by Democrats wasn't backed by Republicans in the state legislature. The flat income tax is expected to affect over 1 million taxpayers in Iowa, according to 2020 data from the Iowa Department of Revenue. $3.9 billion was reported in the state in individual income tax liability on 1.7 million returns for that tax year filed in 2021. And it looks like that concludes it. And so here's the interesting piece, right? We have federal taxes, we have all the federal things, we have federal benefits, all of that good stuff. In addition, we have all the state stuff. And I know I'm saying things that aren't new, but here's the bottom line. Veterans in each one of these states, we bring collectively a huge value to the state because we're bringing in a bunch of resources, jobs from the VA because of our veteran status, right? We're bringing in disability compensation, we're bringing in retirement, we're bringing in school money and utilizing that at the various schools, different institutions of higher learning and so forth. And so we are a positive attribute to the states. So even when it comes to things beyond the reducing the tax for the entire state, we as the veteran sphere, also need to be having conversations about bolstering the benefits within the states for us, such as the real estate tax exemption. Now, in most cases, the real estate tax exemption is really set aside for those that are at 100%, typically 100% permanent in total. However, I believe that there should be a sliding scale. Let's call it a 80, 90, 100% scale. If you're at 80%, you get 50% of your real estate taxes wiped out. If you're at 90%, you get 75% of your real estate taxes wiped out. At 100%, you get them all wiped out. Because, again, we are bringing in billions of dollars into these states as far as compensation is concerned. And guess what? We're really good at spending it. So we're spending it in the states. We're supporting businesses in the state. They're generating sales tax revenue if there's sales tax in the state and so forth. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.